Jeff Cushner, owner of Canine Care, has been successful in teaching owners and their dogs the proper way to successful relationships for over 25 years. Now it's your turn. Start your journey to a perfect dog with Jeff on The Canine Care Show.
Hi, and welcome to the show. If you watched the last show, I'm sure that while some of your basic questions were answered, a whole bunch of new ones came to mind. This really is the point of the show, to make you think about your choices. What you believe affects how you will communicate with your dogs. If the communication is faulty, then so is the relationship, and it is a relationship. On today's show, I'll be chatting with Trish Shadler, who owns and operates Canine Campus, the boarding kennel that I use for my dogs, located in Fogelsville. We're going to discuss why you should kennel your dogs at times and what features you'll look for in finding a good kennel. But first up, after the break, the topic is verbal communication. We as humans have been given a truly remarkable gift, the ability to communicate verbally. It makes life so much easier than other animals who don't have it. With it, we don't have to act out things or be very physical, and we get to communicate exactly what we're feeling if we wish. There are a few species on the planet with this ability at our level, perhaps dolphins and whales and some primates, with the rest of the planet's inhabitants below that. But we're so close to this unique trait that we think of it as normal as waking up in the morning. With dogs, though, we're constantly confusing them when we converse with them to make our points. Dogs use verbal communication very infrequently. They correct with it, express pain, anger, dominance, that they have needs, and they also use it to coordinate hunting and security issues. When my dog Shiloh wants to play, is eager when I start doing something different, or even when I wake up and he wants to start his day, he'll emit a low guttural sound that explains he's eager but not demanding. When I repeat it, he gets excited, like I'm saying that I agree with him. It sounds something like, and I know that's him. Dogs can't, though, explain anything with verbalization. They can elaborate on their emotions and their emotional needs. They can't lecture with it, and they certainly can't name anything with it. Of course, we try to make them say things that would make sense to us. My friend would ask his hound, "Who hit 60 homers?" Or, "What's on top of the house?" You get the picture. Yes, dogs can learn what we say. Obviously, they know words that make sense to them, but not language. That's the real showstopper. Dogs don't have the mental ability to learn language the way we use it, with subjects, predicates, prepositions, etc. This is a very major difference between the species. Dogs can learn nouns and verbs like toy or come, but they can't put together complex strings of words. We can't say, "Take the bone and carry it to the yellow box." Now, I know a lot of people will say bull to that. They'll say to me, "I tell my dog long sentences all the time and he follows exactly." Well, perhaps true enough, but long sentences said the same way are understood by dogs usually as a long word that implies the same multiple acts. Do you want to go to the potty, boy? You want a toy? Do you want to go in? You want to eat now? They don't break it down into so many words, though. When I ask dogs to heel, for example, it may be a short command, but it has multiple functions. In this case, what I call a command mode. Within that one word, all the following rules are inherent. What to do when I stop, when I make turns, when I speed up, slow down, as well as the side to walk on and the location within that side. Most dog owners believe that when we're giving dogs commands, we are meeting this task of teaching dogs to understand what to do in certain situations. Yes, and we are gratified with the results. We say a command, the dog follows it, and we praise. But here's the kicker. Because dogs don't understand language, they have no idea just why they are following the command. It has no reference to what we don't want them to do. For example, you know that your dog will jump on visitors as soon as they come in. So, what do? Of course, you tell your dog to sit. And if he responds perfectly, he sits. Because he's sitting, though, he can't jump on your visitors. So you praise him for his good command sense and off you go. But the very next time someone else arrives, you'll have to go through the entire sequence again, just like he forgot all about it the first time. This is one of the reasons why people believe that dogs have no memory. The truth is that you never told him what he was doing was wrong. You only told him to do something else. For example, you catch your child drawing on the wall and only direct him to a drawing pad instead. He might think that now he has two choices, both good. Understand that if you give your dog a command, that he will have no understanding of why he's doing it. Within the big picture that you understand. By telling him what to do, he's assuming he is doing nothing wrong, and you're just telling him to do something other than what he's currently doing. That will never change his mind about what he was motivated to do, the wrong thing, in the first place. If your dogs are doing something wrong, don't tell them to do something else. Tell them that what they are doing is wrong. Then you'll be communicating much clearer. I hear my clients explaining to their dogs all the time, "You know that you're not supposed to do that," or "It's time to do your business before mommy and daddy go to work." You're not going to get in trouble by explaining things that they aren't expected to understand. Don't try to explain anything to dogs for their sake, though. They'll perhaps tilt their head, not understand, or as I said before, perhaps they'll think of it as one long word, or pick a few choice words out of the sentence. I do know, though, that all of us will say for our own needs and human sakes, and that's fine. We do need to hear ourselves talk from time to time. It's important to keep your words short, but even more important is it to be consistent with what you say. If you want your dog to understand a certain word, repeat it when he's performing the action. For example, if you want him to sit, say it even when you catch him sitting on his own. By associating the word with the action, he'll learn it much quicker. The words that we use often get us in trouble, and the biggest culprit is the word, believe it or not, okay. The way that we use this word in normal speech is almost used as praise or a release. Okay, that was good, or okay, let's eat. When dogs are upset, anxious, or even aggressive, barking at other dogs or people, our first instinct is to calm them down by saying, you guessed it, okay. It's okay. Our favorite comforting word is okay. So when a dog gets frightened by thunder, by us saying, it's okay, while comforting the dog, it's akin to saying, be very scared of the thunder. I agree with you. By the way, the best way to deal with thunder is to do nothing out of the ordinary. Let your dog see that you aren't worried, and he'll relax. Don't expect your dog to answer the question, also, what did you do? Chances are he'll just be reacting to your words in a negative fashion, not based directly on past actions. Also, as a rule, never correct your dog after the fact. You'll be sadly surprised that the bad behavior just might get worse because of it. And one more tip. Try not to use the command come when your dog is doing something wrong. He'll associate a command that really should be the most positive word as something that is negative. Try saying no first. If he stops, praise him. Then, if you want him to come to you for any other reason, then you can call him. Don't confuse commands with correction. Communication with our pets is the hardest part of owning them. After all, we are attempting to communicate with a member of a different species, and we are not born with that ability. As you grasp the communication on all levels, not just verbal, you and your pets will live together much, much happier. When we come back from the break, we're going to be discussing kenneling, what to look for in kennels, and the proper way to go about it with Trish Shadler of Canine Campus. Sit, stay. I have always relied on kennels to take care of the very important furry members of my family when neither my wife nor I could be home for vacations where they wouldn't allow dogs weekends away or emergency trips. Although my dogs have the run of the house normally while my wife and I are at work during the day, I'll even use the kennel if my wife and I are going to be gone all day from morning to late evening just for daycare. My guest today is Trish Shadler, owner-operator of Canine Campus in Fogelsville, to discuss important aspects of kenneling your pets. Welcome, Trish.
Hi, how are you, Jeff?
Good. We're going to be talking about kennels, and especially the kennel that you run because you know more about it.
I hope so.
So, just to start out, when I board for vacations, I board, like I said, to go away. What are some other reasons that people board?
Well, I think one of the primary reasons is if you're going away for a holiday or if you're going to be away for a day for daycare. Another reason would be if you're having construction done on your house, like you're having painting done or you're having the floors polyurethane. You don't want the dog in the house.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, and so therefore you would look to the need for a kennel.
Or even sometimes putting pesticides on lawns. I mean, you brought up a good topic.
Yep, there you go. That's a very good reason to bring your dog to the kennel.
Great. What are some of the reasons that other people board their pets? I mean, I know what I do, but everybody's different.
Well, sometimes what happens, I think, is they're acclimating their dogs to coming to the kennel, all right, and they need the house to be free for guests, somebody who's allergic to a pet or are afraid of pets, so they ask to board them. Another reason would be they want to bring the pet to release some of the energy. Mm-hmm. So they bring them for a weekend, and then they have a weekend away that they can get some chores done at home, like mowing the lawn or blowing the leaves, which drives some dogs crazy, those kind of things.
Now, in my time with people and clients that I go to their homes and I work with on behavioral issues, they'll tell me a lot of times that they take their dogs to other people's homes, or they have somebody come over when they go away to visit the dog. Mm-hmm. And what are some reasons why that isn't as good as a kennel?
Well, that's one of the reasons is safety. Okay, for one reason, sometimes when you're away, the postman or the UPS guy comes and knocks on the door, and of course, you know, that drives some dogs crazy. And they're home alone, so once again, you got a little anxiety going on there. Another reason would be weather. When you have a thunderstorm, lightning, that jacks up their anxiety levels. And also if you have fireworks or you have somebody who's shooting off a gun in the neighborhood, target practicing or something like that. Right now it's deer season and small game, so people are doing that.
So I hope nobody shoots off a gun in my neighborhood.
Well, there are, though, people who are sighting their guns in, and that's very nerve-wracking for some dogs. So those are reasons you would want to bring them safe, secure type situations.
From a behavioral point of view, I know that I want to take my dogs to the kennel rather than take them somewhere else because other people have different rules than I do, and I don't want my dogs to learn those rules.
That's true, like feeding your dog off the table.
If they're spoiling dogs and they start spoiling mine, the dogs are going to come home and they're going to say, "Hey, you're feeding my dog." You know, they're going to be right at your nose there saying, "Where's my food?" They did it. Or what about on furniture?
Jumping up on the furniture.
Different rules.
Yeah, different rules as
well.
well.
Now, a lot of people will allow their dogs on furniture, but if you don't allow your dog and then you come home, you bring the dog home to your place, and all of a sudden your dog says, "Well, I could get on the furniture there. Why can't I get it on here?
There you go. Here?" That's a good reason, very good reason for that. Sometimes, too, what happens, I think, is security reasons, like opening a door. You don't think when you're at your house that the dog you're watching will run out that door and get hit by a car or run away because they don't know where they are. They're lost. So,
in a lot of cases, the dogs want to find their owners.
Right, they want what's going on.
And so they're being more needy to look for them and leave the door, even though they wouldn't do it in their own home.
That's right. Those are really good reasons, safe, secure reasons, and for their comfort too as well. They know you have competent staff who are going to be watching your dog, supervising them all the time. So,
now most people will say, well, I don't want to take my dog to the kennel because my dog will be scared. My dog won't want to go there, will be traumatized. What's a good way of acclimating your dogs to the kennel before they go?
I think what you need to do is we offer a 4-hour free boarding just to get them started. We want them to come as babies, get them at 3 months old. When they're ready to have their first rabies shot, they can come to the kennel. And the first 4 hours, we ask people, bring them when it's quiet. Tuesdays or Wednesdays, we like the puppies to come. We're flexible, come and stay for a couple of hours. The next step would be, why don't you bring them for daycare one day? So we're working up like building blocks. Then why don't you bring them for a couple nights or a weekend? You can get away. The dog can stay with us for a while, get to know us, like to go camping. And then you can go into your vacation where you may be going for 7-10 days.
And another good tip when you bring your dogs to the kennel is act like you're taking them outside or you're just coming in your own home. Just give them to the person and then just walk out, or when you come in, keep it low-keyed.
Right, keep it low-keyed. Hand the pup over to the staff, and the staff will say, bye, Mom, we're going in, away you go. Don't make a fuss, because all you're doing is jacking up your dog's anxiety levels. This way it's happy, I'm going to camp, yay, I'm going to meet my new friends, and both sides of it. The owner feels better, and the pup's happy to go meet all their new friends at camp. So, yes, definitely.
When I pick up my dogs, I just say, okay, let's go in the car.
And they jump right in.
They jump right in.
That's right. And your dogs are always happy to come, but then they're happy to go home, too.
Happy both ways is good.
That's right. That's all good. We always look forward to that.
That's great. Anything else about tips?
Well, I would just say that if you're looking for a kennel, you should ask friends and neighbors. Word of mouth is the best, always. Check with your vet. Your vet will also tell you about a kennel, and then proceed from there. Call the kennel. Find out what's available to you. What do you want in a kennel? Are you looking for safety? Are you looking for creature comfort? Are you looking for competent staff, cleanliness? All those things are so important.
And of course they need their shots and Bordetella shots too.
That's right. The requirements are that they have to have a rabies tag. You need to have a valid dog license for the year, 2008 or whatever year it is, and a copy of your current vaccinations for Bordetella and distemper.
Now, if I forget to register my dog to get a license, I'll get it right there at your place.
That's right. I'm a licensor for Lehigh County. We have an agency right there to do that, and we can issue it to you immediately for, if it's spayed or neutered, $650 or $850.
Great.
Yep.
Let's take a look at your kennel.
Okay.
We have a couple clips. I was there the other day, and we saw them. So why don't you talk about what you're seeing?
All right. These are our guest accommodations. Right now you're seeing a couple of our pups. These are family members. They're boarded together. They're jumping up and down. They want you to say hello. And there's the other two members of their family. There they are, all happy. Everybody wants to greet you. And as you can see, they have their own beds, and they have access to no less than 6 quarts of water at all times. They can go indoors and outdoors. Now the weather's getting a little cool, so that the floors have water-piped heat in the concrete. So they're nice and toasty warm.
I noticed that there was no smell at all when I was there, and the floors were immaculate. You could eat off them.
And look at that. This is Miss Rosie, and she wants to say hello, maybe have a snack for her.
Next one up, we're going to talk about the exercise areas?
Right, we have exercise areas in back of our kennels. As part of our boarding, we offer, as part of the boarding package, we leave them out twice a day. There you go. And this is Joey and Daisy, and I'm letting them out for their exercise. We let them out to monitor them for health and elimination, making sure that they're not having any problems, seeing that they're all happy, and that they are having a good time as well.
So this is the small dog exercise area.
This is our small dog exercise area.
And then we're going to go to the large dog play area.
Right, that would be behind our other exercise area, away from the kennel. These are where we have our playtime. We have up and down. You can run all around here. We throw balls and frisbees and toys. They can really get a good running leap when they have that much room to run around. And there's a grass area there too. A lot of folks are worried about, well, there's no grass, my dog can't do their business unless there's grass in the area. So we do offer that, as well as trees so that they can lean on the trees as well.
And so next we want to take a look at your office.
Okay.
This is where people bring their pets in.
That's right, a reception
where you sign
area.
in.
Yep.
So let's take a look at that clip.
Okay. This is our reception area. This is what I'm doing when I'm taking a call in. When you come in, this is what you see. We'll take your dog as soon as you come in the door. We'll put a leash on him and take him out to greet the other campers. Front door, few items that you can purchase. And that's where the house is. It's approximately 100 yards away from the kennel.
And now we're going to take a look at that too.
Oh, okay.
Now this clip starts out with my license plate.
Yeah.
With the old woof on it.
There you go.
And that's the front of the office?
That's right. That's where you would come in the front door. This is our front of our kennel area, and this is our yard area. And as we look around, that's where the house is about 100 yards away from the kennel, so we are always in sight of our...
So that's the house right there?
That's the house right there. You got it. And we can always see what's going on as far as guests coming, guests going, and incoming and outgoing. So we're only 100 yards away, so there's the driveway coming up the hill.
And now I took this shot to show you, or to show everybody out there, that you're in a really wooded area.
Yes,
I mean, it's at the top of a hill. There's nothing but woods there. It's wonderfully clean air.
Yes, it is. It's a nice rural area. We own the area, so we don't have to worry about neighbors complaining about barking dogs. And
that's great.
Yeah, it's very pristine, and we keep it that way.
Do you have good soundproofing in your house?
Yes, we do. But we do have an alarm system that our neighbors complain about when it goes off. So we can hear everything, actually.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's great. Thanks for coming. This has been wonderful
to
have you.
It has been. Thank you, Jeff.
And we just want to give it a plug again. This is Trish Adler. The kennel is Canine Campus. And there's the phone number, 610-285-6711.
That's it.
And I appreciate having you on the show. Oh, one more thing.
Okay.
We didn't show China down here. Is your dog you brought with you?
That's right. That's my girl. This is China. She's a rescued Rottie from Superior Haven Rescued Rotties, and she's been with me just a little under a year, and she's doing wonderful.
Great.
Thanks for having her on the show. She's really doing very well.
Yeah, she's got great stage presence.
She does, doesn't she?
Okay, thanks a lot. We'll be right back after this. Thank you. Welcome to the segment that I affectionately call the Canine Toy Box. With this, we're going to be talking about toys from time to time, both good and bad. The toy today, generically I'll call the rope toy or the rope bone, which is right here. Where should I look over here? As you can see, it has rope, it has fringe on the outside, and dogs love them. Pet stores are loaded with them. Many of your homes are too. The pros are that dogs love to chew on them. They keep the dogs busy, they don't look like other stuff you own, they're fun for tug-of-war games, etc. So why shouldn't they be great dogs for all toys? Well, lots of reasons. For one, they're made of rope strands. Dogs generalize, so if they're given something like that that reminds them of something else in your home, they'll make a connection between that and your stuff. Now, do you have anything made of rope stuff in your home? Well, actually, the vast majority of homes do. I present to you your carpets. Yeah, they're made of the same stuff that your dogs are chewing on. They present perfect chew toys right beneath the feet all the time. Now, if we look at this graphic here, not only are the carpets in the normal lay of the carpet, but shag carpets and also oriental fringe at the ends of it. So if you find your dogs are chewing on oriental fringe or carpets or little strands that come out of that, yeah, they probably got their start with rope toys. So if your dog suddenly starts chewing on a corner of a carpet or a fringe, you now know what the cause just may be. Also, The tug-of-war games that you play with them with this lead to dominance issues and confusion as to who's in charge. This has always been a major problem with dogs living in human homes, dominance. Now, there's also a medical problem with rope toys. Dogs who ingest the strands might get intestinal or gastric blockages that might be fatal, called string obstructions. I don't know about you, but I'd rather not live with that albatross around my neck. As an exception, there are lots of dogs that do chew on rope toys and have no problems. They chew lightly on them, they don't shred them, they don't ingest them, and they don't chew on the carpets. If you're lucky enough to have that, fine. But it's sort of like they say at McDonald's, if the toys are good for 3 and over, but if you have a 2-year-old that also plays with them good, so be it. You have to be the final judge of that. There also are good alternatives sold in your same quality pet stores. Give them tough nylabones or processed real bones that won't splinter, and they'll be happy without the additional potential for problems. Well, that's all the time we have for the show today. I'll be looking for you next week. Now, if you have feedback, you can send email to dogshrink@caninecare.com. Spelled K9CARE without any punctuation there. Advertisers, call Canine Care at 610-435-7055 if you want to advertise on this show. There are many plans to choose from, and we're sure one or more are just right for whatever size business you own. With the thousands of viewers watching the show each day, both on the scheduled airings as well as RCN's On Demand, your company will be noticed. And if you need personalized, in-depth help with your furry members of the family, give me a call at 610-435-7055 or visit the Canine Care website at www.caninecare.com. I'll see you next week for more Canine Care Show. Remember, if you miss a show, you can always catch up by viewing it on RCN's on-demand service. So until then, keep your dogs' tails wagging and their tongues licking. See ya.